And we're on.
Woo, we're on.
After a good long hiatus, I mean,
Life,
yeah, life. I mean, hey, we're both busy people. I mean,
it's true.
as far as I know, I think Dave has another job, and me, I just gotta satiate the insatiable.
I'm trying to balance my life between studying and a job right now, so it's been hell. Hopefully like the studies will pay off and I'll be in a better job soon, but we'll see.
Me, I just got a date. That's
Aw,
that's been taking up
that's
most of my time.
uh that is fair. But we've been doing a lot of stuff recently
Yeah.
because apparently this is all about the Twitter stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just asking you. It's like, hey, how's your Twitter followers going? And apparently, it has nothing to do with a major takeover that's happening. But yeah,
Um
we'll we'll get into that as our. I think we'll make that our final topic, and we'll go over a
well,
few mini topics.
Well, let me talk about like my Twitter because recently I surpassed 3,000 followers on my Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have 3,040 as of now.
Damn.
Uh,
Yeah, you're getting big in the world. But then again, so is everyone.
Look, I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest dude out there, but I am gonna say I have a big dick. Anyway,
Yeah, that's what
uh,
my girl says about
jokes
me.
aside,
About me.
are you sure? No, jokes aside, let me explain what's been going on. So recently, I ended up making two big threads about two controversial Marvel topics, both for very different reasons. And this got me a lot of exposure, it seems. So yeah, I ended up like piling onto that. I even got a mention in a comic perch video because of it. So, you know, I'm getting big slightly, slightly. Um, to give you an idea, uh, I did two threads. The one was "Is Thor a mantle?" Um, which was my recent, where I went over the history of Thor in the Marvel Universe as a secret identity and other shit. But my true masterpiece was the history of how Marvel has tried to break up Peter Parker and Mary Jane,
Oh yeah.
which has been intense.
That's the thing. These
Uh,
could have been videos if we had more time on our hands.
well,
Both
yeah.
you and me.
Well, we've look, honestly, I need a job that doesn't make me work the hours I'm working because oh my god, it's been insane.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Like if I got off like noonish or afternoonish, I could probably like do a lot of get a lot of shit done. But
yeah.
no, I
I
have
mean,
to.
initially I could have blamed my lack of Scarfcast streams on the fact that you got a job, so I couldn't get you on. But then again, I haven't been doing like Scarfy video game streams either because I got shit to do here. I mean,
Look, we all have life to do, but
as
I've
you
been
might
trying.
have noticed, it's like, well, Dave, and a few friends of mine. It's like I've been doing a little bit of artwork too, especially like with my pics. I've actually kind of gotten myself into pixel art, which I I think I might have posted that onto my Minds account, where it's like I tried to reskin a bunch of Legend of Zelda sprites just for fun.
Nice, nice.
But
I,
yeah, beyond
yeah.
that, we both have had stuff to do. Life gets in the way, and and there were like a few weeks where it was kind of a slow news day to a point where it's like I was seriously contemplating on talking about Ukraine, and I really didn't want to. Oh boy, dodged that bullet.
Yeah, no, it's been a whole thing of just like been going through some stuff, and like I said, I mostly did the focus because recently Marvel did a major Spider-Man story where they broke up Mary Jane Watts, him and Mary Jane, and they're trying to bait the fans hard. And a lot of people just ended up being fucking tired of it. So I just made a thread on the history to talk about why it hasn't been really working.
Oh, have
Uh,
you seen the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer?
yes. And look, I made the thread. I'll post the big threads. Give me a sec. Because, I made those threads in response to major Marvel events. So, Thor, Mantle, Exalted Speed. Yep. Found it, found it, found it.
God damn it. All right. So is that something
Okay.
that you just sent to me, or is it something that's in
I'm
the
I'm gonna send it to you in a second. I literally just found it. So here
in the
I'm
meantime, I'll
DMing.
put
I literally just sent it to you.
this on screen. Yeah, thanks, Phil. But all right, let's take a look at the thread that you got there. Yep. Hold on. Put the overlay just in case. Don't want to accidentally dock myself again.
Curse you, doxing myself accidentally. You're my biggest weakness.
Yeah. So Thor is a mantle,
Is Thor a mantle?
or is Thor a mantle? It's a
So,
name.
well, I actually went over
You
it
might as well
in
say
case.
is Zeus a mantle?
Well, just take a look at what I said because look at the first post.
And the
And
answer, oh my god, it depends on the writer. I agree. It depends on whether or not the writer's a lunatic. Okay,
well, I talked about the weird gray areas and stuff because Thor's identity in the Marvel universe is a little weird because you have to understand it's changed since the 60s in heavily different places. Because initially Thor was not actually Thor. He was Donald Blake who became Thor. Then it was revealed that Donald Blake was a fake identity. And there's been some back and forth on it.
all right.
Because
So
on the
there
one
is a
hand,
little bit of history on this one.
yeah, there is a lot of history on this one actually. And it's not as simple is Thor just a name? I think here's the thing. Most for most of his existence, you can say that Thor's place could be inherited. You could always have another thunder god in Asgard, and maybe they'll take the identity of Thor themselves, but that doesn't take away Thor's identity. So it's kind of this weird awkwardness that is a little. It's not the best setup. I know what they're trying to do. It's just it makes it seem like I said, there's a huge history to it. It's not just Thor's a name and Thor's a mantle. It's like it's both, kind of. What it really should be is Thor is the name, and the role of Thunder God is the mantle. But it hasn't been always treated like that. And like I said, there's history. There's a lot of other things about it. And I went over every mainstream example of it as I could. I even mentioned fucking Storm in that thread when she was manipulated by Loki.
Hmm.
So believe me, it's a huge history that I made just to show it's a grayish area that isn't always consistent. There is some consistency in a couple ideas throughout the areas, but this is
Then
this is
again,
to
the
show
Asgardians are kind of portrayed as aliens in this universe.
No, they're more mystical, honestly. Here's the thing: they're not aliens in the original comics. You can kind of think of them as malleable legends. Is the best way to put it. Basically, they the gods kind of grow from how they're perceived, and they change depending on the era. So that's always been kind of a unique aspect about them. Now, there's also examples like Beta Ray Bill, who is an alien, who ends up being worthy of Thor's hammer and is a fucking badass, and you will respect him. And if you
Yeah, for
don't,
who are watching on screen, I had to do a double take as I was scrolling down. Where it's like, wait a minute, does this guy have no nose?
that's Beta Ray fucking Bill, and you will respect his authority. You will respect the hero who saved his people. We, in this house, support Beta Ray Bill. He is our god. He is the coolest fucking dude.
Well, since he looks like an
Sorry.
eldritch abomination, he has my respect.
Yeah. Imagine if you just, here's the thing. His story's kind of awesome because it starts out like just a typical alien invasion story, and then you find out, wait, he's worthy of Thor's hammer? The fuck? The fuck?
I swear, he looks
The
like a ghoul from the Lovecraftian universe had gotten Thor's hammer.
Yeah, essentially.
I wonder if he'll start
Essentially.
eating corpses.
Yeah, and then and Thor fight it over, and then they realize that they respect each other and become total bros. Beta Ray Bill's fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So again,
Holy crap, he
I
does
went.
look like a ghoul in this picture.
Yeah, yeah. Beta Ray Bill's fucking
Me,
awesome.
me and my Lovecraftian or Cthulhu references.
You
Uh,
might have missed. You might have missed the Clark Kent cameo up there.
wait a minute, Clark Kent was. Did we just mix in Marvel with DC?
There's a little joke ahead. Yep, there it is.
Oh my
Under
god, it is Clark Kent. What is he
Yeah,
doing here?
it's to make a joke about Thor's new secret identity, which involved him wearing a pair of glasses. So they made a little cute cameo. He actually has a couple
I'm
different
telling you,
cameos.
it works. Especially for like people non-native to the planet Earth who come from outer space and have the ability to fly.
Yes, it works especially well for them. But at this point in Thor's career, he took on a human identity without having transformed back and forth between Donald Blake. So, and he was named Sigurd Jarlson, and that was his whole deal for a while.
An orange
Oh,
champagne.
like I said, it's a thing. We then get to the Eric Masterson years where he was fused with a regular dude who's like, "Oh God, I'm a divorced father. I want to see my son." And then Eric is separated from Thor, and then Eric becomes the new Thor in order to find the real Thor. Because the real Thor went missing after a battle with Loki and stuff. So as you can see, there's a huge Marvel history to it. It's not just simple. And this one. And like I said, it's a thread. It was my big thread, but the big thread that made me this week was my freaking Spider-Man one, which is longer than this one probably.
Oh damn.
But yeah, well, it got
Yeah,
me
I
on
like how we
Reddit.
just kind of went through what what is a here's a thing video just live on air.
Yeah, here's the other one that made me freaking big this month because oh my god.
Oh, you got another one?
Yeah,
Oh,
this
here we
is
go
the
again.
yeah. Well, this is my Mary Jane one. It ended up getting me on the Super Best Friends Reddit page, which is one of the bigger Reddits. So yeah, no, I'm kind of proud of this one. See, just because Elon Musk took over doesn't mean I'm not doing my shit. I will do my shit. Whatever corporate overlord is controlling me this week, I will fight. Yay!
Well, judging from how you've been working, you are controlled by corporate overlords at this rate.
I'm controlled by several corporate overlords at this rate.
Oh, dude, soon
Help
we'll be
me.
controlled by government overlords.
Help me, please. I want to I want to leave this hell. This
I don't
hell.
blame you. I mean, I remember last time your people got con- were at the mercy of a government overlord. Didn't end well.
Oh, you mother. Oh god, that this has been very special and I also dear lord, I had to explain dear lord, I had to explain I I was like uh I had a little fun recently because I was celebrating Passover a couple weeks ago and one of my coworkers is Egyptian. So when this came up, he was like, "Look, I don't have," and I'm like, "Dude, I know this. I'm not gonna make it a big thing about it. It's Passover. Jesus Christ, that happened thousands of years ago. You let my people have been let go. We're fine.
Yeah, it's all water under the bridge now. We're new
It's all
people now.
water under the bridge. I forgive. I forgive. It was funny. It was fun. But no, this thread I explained all the breakups, and I I ended up talking about what I like to call a Marvel concept,
Oh my god,
the
Moon Knight.
ideal the ideal Spider-Man. The ideal Spider-Man is basically the idea that Spider-Man there's an ideal version of Spider-Man and he's the only one that should exist ever. There Spider-Man can't change as a character, guys. There's this perfect Spider-Man and all we have to do is make sure he's single, young and miserable. That's all we
You
have to
know, it's
do.
this kind of thinking that brought us one more day.
Yes. I went over every possible variation of the breakup.
Oh
So
boy.
believe me, it's a long thread. It's historical. Some people tried, and I mean some people tried to basically be like, why is it so long? I'm like, dude,
I like how your avatar keeps looking more and more like a Super Sentai guy.
it is actually based on Super Sentai Guy this time.
Yeah,
So, I've had plenty of different avatars at this point.
but yeah. But with that out of the way, I mean, let's finally get into our actual main topic, such as, well, stuff that's practically going on, like, right down the street from me. I am literally, I think this is happening at the courthouse that I could actually walk
We're
to,
talking,
which
dude.
is
We're
the
both
Amber Heard lawsuit, which
so.
has many
Um,
levels of hilarity. This being one of
so
them, where when an attorney actually objects to himself.
Yes, brief.
wait, what? That happened?
Yeah, here I'll bring up the volume so you can hear it.
Briefly. Okay. And isn't it true that in the entire time you were there, you were not informed as to what caused damage to Mr. Depp's finger on March 8th?
Objection, hearsay.
I'm asking what he wasn't told.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Wait for it.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he sustained an injury on one of his
Well,
fingers.
objection, hearsay.
Wait, you asked the question.
Oh,
Next question.
okay. You said he sustained an
Uh,
injury to his finger.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was a thing, guys.
Uh, Jesus Christ. What is a Amber Heard's like legal team is just made up of like okay. I was expecting Amber to come back swinging, and a huge defense because this week is her defense, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be her defense.
And oh my God, apparently she was underprepared.
keep in mind, I think this was maybe a couple of days ago, so it might be still under like Johnny Depp's uh team. So
Still, like, the fact that, like, a guy objected to his own question.
I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Because that's Amber Heard's defense attorney right there. I'm like, what the?
Wow, I would start browsing for better one.
So yeah, as you could imagine, Nick Rekieta is having a field day with this whole thing. Granted, I'm not going over all the boring bits where they're just doing video depositions all the time, all the freaking time. But there are some
Yeah.
hilarious moments there. There's some like real gems in there, such as I think one of his friends, I think Isaac, sounds like he would make a good storyteller. He would make a great narrator. I'm gonna see if I can find him. It's like, I'm gonna see. Maybe. Actually, I'll do this one from the. Yeah, I may have to just do this one from the actual,
Hey,
like,
how you doing?
from one of the Law Nerd clips. I'll put this on screen for everyone.
You know, to say hello. So I open up the door and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And she looks at me and she says, "Not feeling so hot that I made some food. Would you like to come over and eat with me?" And at that point, after everything I've seen, I looked at her. I said, "Listen, me and you, we're not going to talk anymore. After everything that I've just seen all week long, from the past week and change, you listen. I'm confused. I'm angry, and I'm frustrated by everything that I've seen. And that I think the best thing is for me and you that we don't talk anymore."
But yeah, just from the way this guy sounds, I want him to narrate like a movie or something.
Yeah,
But
like
yeah,
that's fair. Like,
oh, maybe it's this one where it's like says
Good
something
morning.
like back in '98 or
Morning.
so.
Would you state your name for the record, please?
My name's Isaac Baruch.
How do you know Mr. Depp?
I know him since teenagers. We met.
I love the music they put to
Florida.
this.
What were your impressions of Mr.
Okay.
Depp while you were both living in Florida at the same time?
Oh, he's a sweet kid. A sweet guy.
Sir, wait, there's an objection.
Oh,
He's a sweet kid, sweet guy.
he's
I
I like this guy
guy.
immediately.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
he's a
seems-
sweet guy.
I think the jury would like this guy.
Did there come a time when you
I want to
began
hang out
working
with
for
this
Mr. Depp?
dude.
Yeah, I know,
Oh
right?
yeah.
When was that?
Oh, that's later on. That's like in 1993.
It's
What
all
were
the
you
way
doing
up in
with Mr. Depp when you
'93.
started working for him? Did Mr. Depp ever express an interest in your art?
Yeah.
Did Mr. Depp ever buy that painting?
No,
Why not?
because when I brought over paintings, I had moved back to California, and I brought over a bunch of paintings for him to look at and see if he wants any. He looked at me and says, "I got an idea. How about I be your patron?" It was, "Listen, I got a place for you to go ahead and live and work and put this body of art together, and I'll take care of you. You don't have to worry about anything."
Did you take him up on that offer to live at the Eastern Columbia building?
Yeah, of course.
When did you move into the Eastern Columbia building?
The next day after we met and we talked.
The next day.
Johnny's trying not to
And I go
die
there,
laughing.
and this is a beautiful building. This is like, it's whatever, 13
It's like
floors,
it's
but
got
like
windows
from the
and
1930s.
ceiling.
This guy. This guy is awesome.
Oh my god. I love this dude.
Yeah, I love this guy. This guy's awesome.
I just want to listen to him talk about.
I want this guy to tell stories all the time. It's like he is the perfect guy to have to tell stories.
He really is.
Oh yeah, could you explain Chad Bane for AJ Shim here?
Chad Bane.
Yeah, because I think
Uh,
Phil described the one of the Thor characters as looking like an orange Chad Bane.
oh yeah. Huh.
So I don't
Like
even know who Chad Bane is.
I don't eat. Is it spelled Cad Bane?
Oh, Cad Bane, that's right.
Yeah, the bounty hunter from the Clone Wars.
Oh, that's right. I never watched the Clone Wars.
To be fair, he actually Beta Ray Bill predates Cad Bane by decades, actually. So he was created in the 80s.
Nice.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah, but as you can imagine, there's a lot of entertainment going on with the Amber Heard case, and I think for the first time, people are now kind of seeing all the stuff behind Amber Heard that we've probably known for quite a while now. I mean,
Well, if not known, suspected. I didn't really expect like the psychologist was the most interesting one.
oh yeah,
Where basically, what does she have? Like histrionic personality disorder or something? Like she has several personality disorders that once paired together, and it's like, oh, this absolutely makes sense. Because she describes the situation in Amber's personality, and it's like, oh god, she got her. She basically spelled out the problem. It's like somebody. It's like that's impressive.
yeah. It's also the kind of thing that, well, that Umbrella guy has been talking about for quite a while now. I mean, part of the reason, I mean, I'm a fan of Tug, but part of the reason why I stopped watching his streams is that no, I already know Amber Heard's a cunt. How many streams do I need to watch to realize that? It's like,
Oh
Jesus
look,
Christ, dude. I've looked
look.
at his channel, and there were like so many backlogs of videos that have like Amber Heard bombshells in the title.
Like I personally, that's one of the reasons why I try to avoid spamming same content. I hate being a broken record. In fact, it's one of the reasons why on my channel you probably will never see like uh person destroyed by this clip or shit. I hate that type of content.
Oh yeah, it's like also
Making
it's the same reason why I stopped watching Dictor Van Doomcock, because how many times do I have to learn that Kathleen Kennedy's a cunt, or how Kathleen Kennedy's now out? This time she's really out of Disney Star Wars.
look,
Yeah,
I'm sure. Look, with everything else, you know, we have to rely on rumor, hearsay, and all that jazz. You gotta be careful with this shit. And also, like I said, don't become a broken record. You know?
Yeah, I mean diversify. I mean, give us a different episode. We're seeing the same thing over and over again.
Well, it's like one of the things is that on my Twitter, I don't always complain about the same shit. Like, here's the thing. I I enjoy Clownfish TV sometimes, but every time they talk about the comic industry, they always post images with like I am not Starfire, and I'm like, let it go. That comic, nobody cares. Like, I'm tired of seeing the same faces and images all the fucking goddamn time.
Well, you could always hear about Dismal Disney again.
Dismal Disney? Oh, like everybody knows Disney shit right now. But I understand people want to keep track of it, but still, I'm not one of those guys who's a fan of trying to constantly make that shit. It wears, in my opinion. And here's the thing. I understand being obsessed with it. I understand wanting to talk about it. But sometimes you have to step back from yourself and try to actually think about, hey, what am I doing? Should I keep doing the same stuff, or? And I understand it gets him views, it gets him attention,
Yeah, and
but
sometimes I think it's healthy to just start talking about the stuff you love. I mean, don't don't become a hate monger. Cause you know who's a hate monger?
who?
Ethan Ralph.
Oh, him and fuck
Oh,
everything about him.
oh my god. I mean, we'll get to Elon Musk in a minute and how like the revival of Twitter might destroy all tech, but I think Ethan Ralph was trying to throw Odyssey under the bus because I think Odyssey didn't. I think it was because Odyssey didn't let him or didn't want to let him false flag videos on their platform. I mean, what the fuck happened? I thought he was part of the group of the ego mass of people that was against false flagging. I mean, that's kind of what started the whole Gamergate thing too. It was a false flagging moment, and and then all of a sudden, this guy and I think there was another ego mass called the America First that have become notorious false flaggers for some reason. I don't know how. I don't know why. I never follow those guys. It was a descent. It must have been a weird descent into madness that might have taken like a couple years. But holy shit, it is. It is weird and it's messed up. And now it's turned into Ethan Ralph versus everyone.
Huh?
Anyone who just slighted him in the slightest is now his major enemy for life. This guy holds grudges more so than the Warhammer dwarves.
Jesus Christ.
And I get that people like to make fun of him for owning swampland, but let's be real here. He's like, this guy, I think he lives in Virginia, and much of our state is swamp when you get right down to it. I mean,
Yeah.
have you been to DC? I mean, have you been to DC in, like, the early foundings? When the place really was built on a swamp?
Yeah. Like, a lot of this shit is kind of interesting in that way.
It is weird. I think Ralph might be the only entity I have ever heard of that is motivated solely on spite.
Dude, Ralph is one of those guys who I hope I never have to fucking deal with him. And the fact that we can actually get close to it, because my god, that man is in Virginia somewhere, and I'm just afraid of running into that.
Yeah, so am I. I'm like, holy shit. It's like, what is he got to challenge me to a fist fight? Or we got to go into a boxing ring?
Uh-huh.
Because that's what he's planning on doing with, I think, Andy Worski. Because that's the latest thing that's going on with him. So,
Andy Worski's still alive?
yeah, somehow he's still around.
Huh.
I know it's shocking to hear anyone from the internet blood sports community actually still being around, but some of them are still around. It's like right off the heels of, I think it was like Sam Hyde and Boogie298 challenging each other to a boxing match. I'm like, what the hell is going
Who
on?
hasn't challenged each
Why
other
are
to
all
a
the
box?
YouTubers getting into boxing?
It got a lot of attention with Logan Paul, I guess.
I mean, holy shit. So, yeah, I mean, I guess nut jobs will be nut jobs. But yeah, that's. And the thing about Ethan Ralph and his spite, I think this guy even has sex out of spite. Because if you remember that whole like revenge porn video that everyone talked about a long time ago, he initially uploaded that just to mess with another guy who was doing a live stream. He even linked the guy to the video during the live stream just to see his soul get crushed live on air.
Jesus Christ.
That dude got laid just to spite someone else. I don't even think he could get hard without thinking without it involving spite. Which really tells you all you need to know about like the relationship he had with Faith. I mean the girl in the thing. I'm not even gonna. Oh my god. Between Ralph with his like fingering and Amber Heard and the bed. This is turning into a fecal fueled stream.
Yeah, God, it's disgusting, isn't it?
It is. And of course he's denying it. Even though he's the one who posted the video evidence.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that's another thing happening in Virginia that we really feel embarrassed about. Why is our state getting known for all the messed up bullshit? Speaking of,
Life?
any any updates on the whole Chris Chan trial?
Ugh, sure. Well,
I think our state is cursed. And considering
don't-
that our state had a Klansman for a governor, I think the Elon Musk racism accusation is the least of my worries.
To be fair, like, we also elected someone who thought Jews could control the weather.
Yeah, I think
Now,
we are the unsung Florida of the U.S.
there might be something to that.
Oh my god. But yeah, might as well
We're the
might as well
Florida
get the
who-
big one out of the way. Finally go into the main topic. Elon Musk acquires Twitter.
Everyone's freaking out. Oh God, Elon Musk. You wanna know what I did? I swore I'm never reviewing his dick sucking comic the guy made. Yep,
Wait a minute, he made a comic?
There's a comic that is actually promoting them. So yes, I basically was like, Elon Musk must have something, and I was like, oh, I found it. It's called Starman, and I hate the name because it also shares it with one of my fucking favorite comics of all time. So now I have to deal with this knowledge, and this cursed knowledge I pass to all of you. And I have sworn. Look, basically, here's the thing. I could give less of a damn about Elon Musk. The only way he could make me give a damn is if he suddenly gave me $2 million. If he gave me $2 million, I'll give a damn. But that's about it. I really don't care about
It's
this dude.
it's just this weird thing that everyone just kind of flipped out about.
Well, the thing about it is that here's the thing. I'm probably one of the most neutral people on Elon Musk, and not really by choice. To me, he's just another douchebag. I'm not really gonna build him into anything more than that. So to me, it's like,
Yeah. In fact, I've already edited my own take on him as a standalone video, but because we're talking about him now, I might not need to upload it.
okay. But my point being is this: I just don't see any reason to turn him into the worst or the best, because here's the thing. People either really hate him or really love him, and there's no in between on him. And, like, I get it, you know?
Well, it's the people who love and hate him that baffle me the most. Because, yeah, looking into this guy, I mean, he seems like a far left-wing activist when you get right down to it. I mean, he's big on whole green energy thing. I mean, I was about to say in my video, it's like he's more likely to bring Greta Thunberg to Twitter than Donald Trump. So I don't know why the right wingers are celebrating.
Because the thing is that on some level, he's promised. Let me put it this way: we're in that weird part of time where free speech has become a right wing issue rather than a left wing issue. And he's been doing free speech, so because here's the thing: a lot of people have been trying to do this whole censorship isn't bad shit, which is, let me put it this way: after reading a lot of history books recently, I have only come to one conclusion: censorship is bad. It just is. Accept it. If you decide to censor something, you're an asshole. I'm sorry. Now that might be extreme, but after reading about stuff like in the comics code and how everything was handled, that was, I have to say,
Usually censorship precedes something really, really bad going on.
yeah, it fucks shit up more than helps. I don't think there's ever been an example of censorship where an organization or an industry decides to censor itself that helps. You know, I haven't found a single one. And I came to the conclusion that it doesn't help. It just fucks people up. It fucks shit up. You can't. It's not good if you. Here's the thing: people who go to bat for censorship, I get it. You don't want to see the people you hate get a voice. I understand. Sometimes it's really awful, but to me, it always boils down to yeah, that's just the pain you're going to have to live with because the other thing is worse.
Yeah, well, what's been
So,
going on is that people who are pro censorship, they've kind of worked around the system and they've worked around the First Amendment right by just taking over all the private social media companies and getting them to censor free speech. And now it just got bought out by someone who's like pro free speech. So now there's like this big concern over it, and this prompted an establishment, I think, in the DHS organization for government control of speech. Which,
uh-huh.
okay, I find that very unconstitutional. Which was the reason why you guys tried to go through the private corporations in the first place, which, well, weren't even private. They were publicly traded. Elon Musk is actually taking it private.
Mm,
So it's kind of ironic to see all the privatization people go like private companies can do whatever they want, start screeching out loud when the private company does what it wants.
fair enough.
Of course, everyone demanding that we should like use the government to bring like major corporations to heel. They they suddenly scream bloody murder when, let's just say, Ron DeSantis did it to Disney. So
Yeah.
it kind of tells you that these people don't really care about private or government control over things or regulations of things. They really care about their own control. They don't give you their real motivations. They give you conflicting ones because they don't want to tell you their real motivations. They know their real motivations are fucked up. That's why they don't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hear ya.
and yeah, and that's and that's what I'm noticing. And there's also some major conspiracy theories going around on Twitter due to the weird outgrow, weird like follower changes. And keep in mind, Musk is not in full control yet. He had only just made the acquisition. The actual hell, I'm not even sure the purchase actually fully went through yet. But there's already changes. So it seems like someone in there is is messing with the algorithm. I guess trying to scrub all the slow, subtle changes that they made over the years that were subtle enough to actually deny the changes as it was going on. But people who were affected by it did notice they tried to do these many years of changes all at once. It became very noticeable.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening, and that's the overarching rumor right now. We will not know for sure until like somebody leaks out some insider information. But until then, I mean, this is all just speculation, guys.
Oh, yeah.
And and as far as Musk himself, I mean, I would try looking at into some of the allegations, like the discrimination allegation, which really just involve Tesla itself. Because you know what the discrimination lawsuit was all about? It was all about one guy being called the N word in a Tesla manufacturing facility. And
Wow.
and that was it. I don't even think it involved Musk at all. It probably just involved just some rando, or at most maybe somebody in the management department, or maybe just a fellow employee. Who knows? But to tarnish Musk with racism allegations just for something somebody did that was so far beneath him, he probably doesn't even know the guy's name, let alone taught him racial slurs. I mean, that is the longest reach I could ever imagine. I mean, by that standard, I mean, I've heard about like a racism allegation in the bakery department at a local Wegmans recently. And by that standard, Danny Wegman should be considered a racist. It's just this weird stress to vilify the guy. And keep in mind, since this is Tesla, I think this might have been based in California, so it might have gone to a California court, which, let's be real here, they're probably biased as all shit. Let's just be real. So, chances are, I mean, I'm not gonna say for sure. I don't know for sure if it's a load of Jussie Smollett BS, but I have my suspicions. And that said, it's just kind of weird considering that this is a guy who supported Amber Heard up until recently, a guy who supports the ADL, a guy who supports the green energy, and probably would have supported the Great Reset. So for him to get vilified so much, it kind of tells you, okay, something's amiss here. And for the right to start supporting him, I think this is a case of, okay, the left committed an act of friendly fire, and then the right saw it and went like, oh, they're shooting at this guy, so he must be one of ours. He's not one of yours, guys. Trust me, he's not. If anything, at this rate, he's just his own. He's a businessman doing businessman things. Yeah, A.D. Shim's got it right. He's like calling out racism or Nazi is just the new I don't like you, so shut up. That's really what it is.
Basically, at this point.
Yeah. Oh my god. And I haven't been baffled by this kind of stuff since like the whole like weird changes that happened in the Wheel of Time TV show. Which I don't even know if we've talked about that in a previous stream. But yeah, maybe I'll do that next time we're available and just do a full-on roast of all these adaptations. It's like past, current, and potentially future when it comes to the Rings of Power. But yeah, but I think the honeymoon period of watching all the salt on Twitter is gonna end real soon, guys. Mark my words. So, is that all we got for Twitter? Maybe, possibly. Are we still connected at least? Oh dear. Yeah, for a generation that never faced real Nazism, sure seems to be good at calling it.
Yes.
Actually, go to Ukraine if you want to see like a repeat of World War II. It's like, I mean, you'll actually see Nazis fighting Russians again. which is, oh my god. Ugh, it's such a volatile situation. It's like, no matter what side you choose, you're gonna piss somebody off. But
But yeah. But yeah, with everything going on, it's been. I'll say this: the whole Elon thing, it was just blowing up so much on Twitter, and it's not really that big a deal at this point.
it really shouldn't be. Well, I think the only reason it's a big deal is because I think Twitter was just used as information control.
Yeah,
And now, somebody who's just trying to do information control just through Twitter as a proxy just lost control of Twitter as a proxy.
yeah. Basically, right now, Twitter is its own hellscape, its own magical hellscape.
Yeah, and I don't think people are just gonna start flooding back to throw in racial slurs all the time. I mean, that's what 4chan is for, guys.
Yes,
I mean, go to the poll board if you want to keep doing that. Uh,
yeah, of course.
and at the same time, I mean, it's already confirmed Trump's not returning to Twitter. In fact, I don't think he can because he's got the whole Truth Social thing, and for him to do that, he would have to abandon Truth Social, which would be a slap in the face to all the people who worked on it, a slap in the face to all the people who supported him by getting the goddamn app in the first place.
Yeah,
It would be a big betrayal, and it would actually do more to hurt him, than help him, even if he does run again. So I don't see him returning to Twitter anytime soon, or ever at all. So yeah, you could stop fear mongering over that one. And if anything, the acquisition of Twitter, if Twitter actually gets better after this could actually kill a lot of the alt tech sites that have sprung up over the years due to Twitter censorship. I mean, you're gonna see a lot of people. I mean, maybe a lot of people from Gab will start coming back to Twitter. Although I think some of the extremists will just stay on Gab. A lot of people from Minds might come back to Twitter. A lot of people. It's like there's a lot of places that might end up losing a lot of support over time, which means we're gonna be stuck with another centralized information authority, and we're gonna have the whole problem all over again eventually. Elon's purchase is a gradual process, not to mention he is the main guy who is going to determine what is allowed or not. He is simply the owner. He has to hire others to do that for him. Yeah, that's the other thing. He also still has to rely on the same kind of people that kind of brought Jack Dorsey to heel. Granted, he's probably got to be a lot tougher than Jack Dorsey, but we'll see in time. And I think that's like all the main points I wanted to get across. I mean, good luck to all tech sites out there. I mean, I'm still pulling for you guys because I want there to be diversity on the internet so that we don't end up with the problem of a centralized location where everything is just stationed and then all of a sudden it falls into the wrong hands. I mean, putting all your eggs in one basket is a good way to get that basket stolen, like an election. But is there anything else we have on Elon Musk? Because I think we said all we needed to say. And that was my alarm clock to wake me up. And I know the conspiracy theory is that he didn't just buy the company, he bought the evidence as well. That's another thing going on. Which probably attributed to the fact that, well, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with the algorithm. In fact, they even had to, I think, lock something out from the employees in case there's a rogue employee trying to sabotage the thing.
Well, that's just fun. Good to know the robots are slowly taking us over. I knew this would happen one day. All hail Skynet. I'm betraying humanity.
You're lucky to be in space right now. I gotta
It's
deal with this
true.
shit. So
It's true. But yeah, it's been crazy all over the place recently. But that's just what's been happening.
yeah. Oh well. Well,
Uh,
this has been like number what
8.
52, I think, of our streams.
Yep.
Yeah. So
We'll see you guys next time, and you all have a good night.
yeah, this is Scarfy.